Hi everyone. Did anybody see the Grammys? Hey, I don't usually watch them because I don't know, like I don't listen to most of the music that is featured at the Grammys or I listen to like hardcore and metal and stuff that doesn't get featured at the Grammys. But last year I watched clips of it just for some of the performances. And then this year I decided I'll just watch the whole thing. So I waited until it was available. Excuse me. And I watched the whole thing. And I gotta say, um, what a disappointment to have, like, look, basically I feel like more celebrities should be using their fucking platforms and speaking out against the garbage going on in this fucking country. Like, I loved that Billie Eilish said something, and it is absolutely true. It's true. Like, you can't be illegal on stolen land, not to mention, like, people are not illegal. You cannot call somebody an illegal person. But she's absolutely right. And like, in my opinion, like, Billie Eilish is totally autistic and she's our people. Like, Chapel Roan last year, I think she did something like she advocates for the artists, like equality and equal pay and blah 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 blah. And like, she has gotten a lot of bullshit from that, but in my opinion, she is our people. Like Jane fucking Fonda. Her middle name, I think, should just be activist. Jane Activist Fonda, because she's dedicated her whole life to activism. And in my opinion, she's our fucking people. Like, autistic, neurodivergent, whatever. There are people, and I feel like Bruce Springsteen's another one. And I feel like it's mostly like-minded people that I see speaking out against this cruelty and this just evil, disgusting crap that's happening around here. So like, I'm watching the Grammys, and there were a few people that, said a couple of comments. Most of them were just like, but that's all I wanted to say, like, you have millions of dollars, you people. And I don't mean to shit all over artists, but like, seriously, like, I mean, just take the Grammys. You got this ginormous space, and you have all the regular folks like ourselves, like, on the outskirts, or like maybe that's the academy, the people that perform that voted for the awards, who knows. But in my opinion, they're the regulars, they're regular folk all around the outside of the thing. And then in the middle, you got all the rich people in their own little walled off area, which is fucking weird to me. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just strange. You got all the rich people in their nice outfits and like tables and like, I don't know. It's just like a spectator thing. It's weird. It's just like, artists shouldn't be paid that much fucking money to do music. Like, come on. Like, nobody should be paid outrageous amounts of money to do like things. I mean, I don't know. This is not where I'm going with this. That part's always been weird to me. Like, what the fuck? Um, but really what I mean is, like, more should be using their platform. Like, you're fucking rich. You have your fans. Like, do you really think you're going to lose a huge portion of your base by speaking out against what you're seeing here? By using the fucking platform that you have, because voices matter, like, and I'm not talking about dumb fucks like Kid Rock. He can go fuck himself right off. Um, of course, nobody like him is going to be, saying anything worth listening. But I'm talking about like the decent souls. Like, I understand fear. I feel it every day. I have anxiety all the time. Like, I know fear, but when it comes to taking a stand against something that is like blatantly fucking wrong, like, fear leaves my body, like, it just goes away. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and I totally would. Maybe it's easier for me to say that because I'm not famous with millions of dollars, but like, I could see myself in that little circle of like fucking rich people, And I would use my mouth like they would have to ban me from those awards shows because I wouldn't shut the fuck up whenever a microphone got in my face. I would say something. Fuck fear. And there's more of us than there are of them. So, like, I don't think I'd be that worried about losing too many people. Like, you aren't the people that are supposed to be, if I were a musical person, like, you weren't supposed to be my fans, anyways. If I were to stand up for what's right and you're like, bye, then fine, bye. You know? Why aren't more people speaking out? God. Cher at the end. I don't know. Was Cher drunk or something? She, I like, she didn't, she looked a little bit lost, but like at the very end of the Cher fucking comes out, right? And I was expecting something from Cher. Nothing. She said fucking nothing about anything that's going on in this country. Like, look, I get it. Like, people want to just tune into stuff and like, I don't want to hear about politics or la 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 la. Well, in my opinion, those days are fucking past, okay? Like, they're past. Like, it's gotten so bad here that it seems pretty fake to just go through an entire awards ceremony and barely hear anything about it. And this is the perfect time. You got millions of people that watch this shit. Y'all could have done some stuff, but then there's probably like censorship from the channel of where whoever owns the Grammys, or you know what I mean? Like, don't talk too much about politics. We're just gonna like, we're gonna music you off the stage. We'll play a tune and then like drown you out and you'll have to leave. Like, I don't know. I know there's that too, but like, what the fuck? You also are not at awards shows and live regular lives and have like social media just like the rest of us. And, you could be saying or doing more. Like, maybe is that a lot to put on other people? Maybe. But fuck, if you have a platform, fucking use it. It doesn't have to just be about what you do for a living. Like, I don't know. But anyways, moving right along to so okay, talk about taking things literally. So Alicia and I were watching, there's this new season of Next Level Chef. And I love Gordon Ramsay, but when the fuck does that dude sleep? He's got so many shows. How does he never get bored with yelling at people and telling them how bad their food is? But anyways, we were watching the first episode of the new season, and somebody on there had grabbed what is it called? Airline chicken or airplane chicken, one of those. I think it was airline chicken, but I'm just gonna say airplane chicken. So anyways, there was like the little thing dropped down with all the food that they had like 30 seconds to pick out what they wanted to cook, and somebody grabbed airplane chicken. And I'm thinking, why the actual fuck would you pick airplane chicken? Because that shit's fucking nasty. Like, are those chickens even real? I've been on planes, I've had airline chicken. It doesn't taste like chicken. I don't know. What is it? It tastes like it's food, but it doesn't actually taste like chicken. Like, I can see it in my mind, the texture. Like, I used to fly a lot when I was in the military. Um, and airplane chicken's gross. Like, why? So this entire my whole life that I've been an adult, or whenever I've been on planes and I've had airplane chicken, I've always thought to myself that there must be like I thought these were actual, like, a population, subpopulation or something of chickens that are actually called airplane chickens, and like that those chickens are raised specifically because they're going to be airplane food. I mean, maybe that's happening. Maybe that's a thing, but I guess it's not. And I thought it was. So they grabbed this airplane chicken, and the entire time that they're working with it, I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck can you do with airplane chicken to make that shit tasty? Why did you pick that? You had other options. And it wasn't until like they're showing the food already made and they're talking about it. And I looked at Alicia and I'm like, what the fuck is up with the airplane chicken? Like, they think it's so good. Like, how can you make airplane chicken taste good? And she's like, it's not, that's just the name of the cut. It's not like the chicken that gets served on airplanes. I'm like, what? And she explained to me that it's called that way. It's called like whatever, airline, because it's like in the shape of a wing or something off of the chicken. and like that it was just a cut of the meat or something. I don't know. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious? That's what's been going on this whole time?" Like whenever I hear like airplane chicken or airline chicken, it's not the chicken that gets served on airplanes. And she's like, "No." Well, then who calls it airplane chicken? Somebody started calling it that, and that's how it's known. And to some, so I just took it kind of literally. I thought that like somebody made that choice, and I was like invested. I was like, what can you do with this piece of shitty little meat that nobody likes, but they all eat on the airplane because they're all hungry? What else are you gonna eat? At least back in the day when I used to be on planes, which was 20 plus years ago. So, so there's that. In case anybody recently had a moment where they took something literally and you didn't have to. Um, I just took a break too. I don't have a whole lot to say today. Do I? Let's see. Oh, 11 minutes. Well, whatever. So I just was watching one of the videos on Midas Touch and I had to stop and I need to just not watch those for a little bit because one of them was there was this like hearing or something and you had the Republicans, the pubes, I call them. No offense if you are one. Like, there's different layers and different kinds of Republicans these days. So, but like some of the pubes, we're talking, and one of the pubes was like, I am not cisgender. I am a woman. He is a man. Like, pointing to the person next to her. I'm like, did I just hear that? So I rewound it a little bit and I sure as shit, you got this fucking pube sitting there like, I am not cisgender. I am a woman. He is a man. These are the people that get paid millions of dollars to represent what? Other people like them? What the fuck? It's like, this is just like, you know what? These are the aliens. We're all looking for aliens. Who are they? Where are they? They live right here, people. We fucking live among the aliens. Like they're here. They're in the White House. They're in the government. Those are the aliens we've all been searching for all these years. They are in the bodies of humans. Like you got to be kidding me. Like what is this? And then I'm so tired of like hearing them talk about like evil dicks it's what is it called? Dementia tests that he takes that he doesn't know that that's what they are. And I like I cannot believe this. Like I feel stupid myself. Like I feel like I lose some brain cells every time I watch like a replay of him going, and then I had to memorize camera, man, woman, TV or whatever the fuck he was saying. These are people that are running the country. And what does it say about us who put them there? What the fuck? Not us. Like, I didn't put him there. But you know what I mean? As just speaking in general, like good portion of these motherfuckers are like, yeah, yeah, give me some aliens that barely can talk. They can barely talk. I am not cisgender. I am a woman. He is a man. You are a fucktard. You are a dumbass. Oh my God. I can't believe I just saw that. But yes, I can actually. I'm so sick of this and it boils. I feel so pissed. Feel so fucking pissed at the ignorance, the stupidity. It is. They're just fucking dumb. They're dumb. I get so pissed whenever I hear anybody say, ladies and gentlemen. They stop it. That's so outdated. There are more than ladies and gentlemen. Like, either include the others or say everyone, just be inclusive that way. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm tired of, like, yeah, I sit here and I dehumanize them. Whatever. I'm making that choice and I'm okay with being a hypocrite because, like, I feel like, whatever. I feel like it's deserved. It's just my opinion. But, like, it is not deserved to dehumanize people that are just fucking regular humans, just living their lives, like existing. And like for you to fucking talk about like I'm so sick of dicks and pussies, like I just am. Sorry. That is not a thing. That is not a thing. There are men's bathrooms, there are women's bathrooms, there are men's sports only. No women should be playing men's sports and vice versa. And I just saw like some female getting, like they don't understand transgender. They don't understand the things that they're afraid of, and instead of like investigating further and doing their research like the fucking rest of us do, they're just like, no, it's too weird, I can't make it make sense, I don't even want to learn about it, it's not a thing. Like, let me just spend my life and my career just damning these people. How can you live like that? That's why I think they're the aliens. This is some fucking weird experiment and I'm tired of it. Like, stop it. People are people. Like, I don't care if somebody wants to be called I don't know, like a bird or something. Call me bird. Call me whatever. My pronoun is like I don't, whatever you want to be called by, fuck, I'll call you by it. That's what you want. Like, how hard is it? And I know I don't know why. Sorry, I guess this isn't a short one. Whoopsie. But like, seriously, like, why? Why the cruelty? Why the meanness? Why? Just sucks. And like, and then like sitting there and seeing Bernie Sanders like have to question a dumbass about like, getting them to admit that vaccines don't cause autism. When will I ever stop hearing this? Will we ever stop hearing this in our lifetimes? It doesn't feel like it. Everybody that is not just like them is no good. And that's not true. And as much as I know that that's not true, it doesn't help. Like, I still feel the emotions of like being, it's just like, how dare you? Like, just decide that entire populations are just worthless because you say they are, and that there's people that still eat this shit up, and like, I gotta move on. I just was like, I can't believe this stuff. Like, I would do a better job, and I suck at speaking, and I don't like people, and I don't know a lot about a lot, like, but I would still do a better job. I wouldn't be sitting there like, I am a woman, I have two hands, I can walk. Like, fuck you. And then the final thing I wanted to say, oh my God, what the actual, so I have, my public journal number 9 for anybody that has been sitting on the edges of their seats, which is nobody. I finally published it. The only one that's up right now is the Kindle version. Like, I did the paperback and I thought I did it correctly, and I fucked up the cover margins, and I have to go redo that for the paperback. The paperback will be up like in a day or two, but the Kindle's available. So basically, I'm just so proud of myself for missing my deadline and waiting into the second month of the new year to like finally meet it. It's weird. I always meet my deadlines, but I didn't for this one. But anyways, what is this about? Anybody's not wondering? Well, I'll tell you. So this one, I gotta look it up. Don't even remember what it's called. Okay. So this one, and if this is your first episode, I call them public journals because they're not books. They're just they're not novellas. It's just a name. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that because I don't know why I call it that, because it's just little snippets of like an aspect of autism, of like, how I experience it. And I put it into like, it's less than 100 pages, all of them. And I just talk about like my experiences with that specific thing. So like for number 9, I did it on being a shitty tenant because I was. And it's called Whimsical Walls Inside the Mind of an Autistic Adult Tenant. Um, the older I'm getting and like I look back on my life, I'm realizing I was that person. I always thought it was other people. Like, at least I'm not like them. But no, there were times where I was that person. Like, I was not a good tenant. Um, in the military, like, I don't know, I had no business renting houses. I didn't know how to take care of anything. And then when I got out of the military and I became a civilian, And I realized that I could pretty much say and do things and get away with it that I couldn't get away with in the military because you got in trouble for anything in there. But I just didn't get along with people. I didn't like living around them. I didn't like listening to the bullshit that comes out of their apartments. I didn't like the pot smoke that I would smell filtering up through the ground, like getting into my clothes. Like, I was not a good tenant. I stomped around. It's so embarrassing. I lived above, like, still get the book. I'm not telling you all the stories. I'm just telling you parts of them. But I like lived above somebody who I nicknamed Crazy Pants. And who knew I was Crazy Pants number two? I didn't know it. But anyways, she lived right below me and this bitch was crazy. Like, she walked around in like her 90s all the time during the day. Like, and they barely covered the bits. She was just like older lady, had crazy frizzy black hair, super Italian, and it like barely wore clothes. I just really only ever saw her in like 90s most of the time. And she wasn't deaf, but she yelled whenever she would have a phone conversation. She yelled everything all the time as if she were talking to somebody who was deaf. But then, like, you know, I would hear her talk to different people and they can't all be deaf. So I don't know what that was about, but she pissed me the fuck off. Just, uh, and instead of, well, how old was I? 20? No, I was in the military. At this point, I was like 24, 23, 24. And I didn't know that you could just have regular conversations with people and be like, hey, I didn't have those skills. So what did I do? I did the shit that I learned from my mother. So like since I was above crazy pants, I just stomped around all the time since that's what she did. And then suddenly I was the problem. And then I would have conversations with nobody because I didn't really talk to people on the phone, but she didn't know that. And I would just talk to the TV and I would do it so loudly and it sounded like I was talking to somebody. But ugh, I just did all the same things that she did, except walk around in the night. I never wore nighties. What the fuck? And then I became the problem. And then I was like, why am I doing the same stuff and I'm the problem, but not her? Like, it was this weird, don't like just, it's just a book so that, like, do not do the shit that I did. Don't do it. Man, if I only knew I was autistic, things would have gone so much differently. Um, God, I was just rude. I was not. I was just, I let people know that I didn't like the way that they lived. And I put all the stories in the book. And, just if you read it, it's just like if you happen to be somebody who is in that renting phase, like you renting apartments, you just got out of college or you just got out of the military and you're bebopping around and a lot of them are just apartment units. Like, you're lucky if you can find a four unit house and that's it. Cause like I lived in a couple of those and those weren't too terrible. But the complexes with like the elevators and all of the people and then the parking, like the more people that there were where I lived, the more problems that I had. And I created the majority of them for myself. Like, there were better ways for me to go about expressing my concern over sex noises and gross shit, just instead of what I did. It's like I was just like acting out. That was embarrassing, but I can talk about it now because I'm not that person anymore. So yeah, I was not a good tenant. I did pay my rent on time. I never missed rent. Um, and I took care of places I lived in for the most part. But, so if that sounds like something that you might be interested in reading, or somebody who, I don't know, you can fill in the blanks. That's all I have to say about that. Good promotion, right? I'm getting better at it. Okay, so is that all I had? Let me check. Yep, that's all I had to say. So thanks for listening to another 25-minute episode that I thought was going to be a lot shorter. And I know there was a lot of autism in this. Um, so you're welcome. And oh my God, no, wait, there's one more thing I have to tell you. Oh my God, I was gonna be, oh, I have to tell you this. So, I went to, so I have the weekly visits with Janice, like I was talking about. And so yesterday was the fourth one. So I've done a whole month's worth of visits and it's been great. Yesterday I stayed over an hour and a half instead of just the hour that we've been doing. And I go over there and I sit down and she's watching some videos on YouTube about like meatballs, like how to make meatballs and shit. And she had just told me last week, like, she doesn't like to cook. She finds it boring, la 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 la. And so I was confused and I was like, why are you watching? Like, are you making meatballs? She's like, well, I've only ever made bullets. And I was like, what is that? And she's like, they're hard. Like, you can just, they're not meatballs, or just like little rocks. And she's like, I want to make them softer. I was like, okay. So then she watches the video and then she gets up and she's like, I'm gonna make some you wanna see my special spaghetti sauce that I make? And I was so confused. I was like, okay. And I follow her out to the kitchen and I sit at the island and I was like, you're not expecting me to help, right? Because I'm not doing any of that. She's like, no, 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 you don't have to help. And so I'm just sitting there like so confused over like why this is taking place when she clearly does not like to be in the kitchen. And I was just like, I guess I'll just go with it. So she gets out a pot. She pulls out three large cans. And so one of them is just some sauce, some spaghetti sauce that you can buy from the store. And she pours it in the thing. And then the other two cans looked like diced tomatoes. So she opens those and she pours them in. And she brings the pot over to the stove and mixes everything up, puts and starts to put some salt in there. And she's like, she turns around and she's like, and you know what the best part of this is it's already almost done. Turns back around, puts some salt and pepper in it, turns up the heat, so it's like, put it on low heat. And she's like, and now it's just gonna simmer for hours. And it was all done in like 2 minutes. It's like, this is your special spaghetti sauce, Janice? And I'm pretty sure she was being sarcastic with the word special. But I'm still trying to get a better read on this woman and I don't know, like, I don't want to like laugh at something in case she was being serious, but I'm pretty sure she wasn't. And she's like, that's all I do. And I was like, and you let this simmer? Like, this is what you let simmer, is just like different cans of stuff? And she's like, yeah. Fucking hilarious. So then, now get this stuff. So now she wants to do the meatballs, and she just watched this video on how to make meatballs, right? Uh oh, cat alert. Can you go around? Excuse me, go around. I'm sorry. Can you go around? Come on, man. Oh shit. Well, in my defense, you fell. I didn't push you. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that. I don't. He just fell. What was I saying? Okay, so like the meatballs. So there's this thing called meatball mix. I didn't know that such a thing existed. Apparently, like, they're not even formed. You can just make them however size meatballs you want. And then you cook them and then that's that. So she pulls that out of the fridge and then she opens it. And I'm expecting her to just form the meatballs. Like, I don't get what's going on. No, she makes redundant meatballs. She gets out like garlic from the fridge and a chopped up onion and an egg and then some disgusting, like, soppy ass. She took bread and like poured milk in it because that's what makes it softer. It was gross. Ew, soppy milk bread. Disgusting. It sounds disgusting. It looks gross. Anyways, I'm just watching her and I thought to myself, wait a minute. Like, this is redundant. The only thing that she's not doing is like she doesn't have extra meat, but like the other stuff she pulled out is all stuff you already put in meatballs. So they were like redundant meatballs and she mixed it all together with the meatball mix and I thought that was odd. And then she was putting like salt and pepper and I was like, Janice, like the meatball mix, like I'm sure that probably has that in there. She's like, no, it's just the mix. Like they don't do that. And I'm like, if you get a mix of something, the spices are typically already in there. So I don't know. But the entire like pre-made meal took, I don't know, 10 minutes. Well, not pre-made, but, you know. And so, like, can you imagine? It was the funniest thing, and I told Janice, I was like, "Janice, I feel so good about myself just watching what you just did here. Like, this shit is hilarious." And she's like, "And that's all you gotta do." And she was very serious about it, and, also not. Special meat sauce or spaghetti sauce. I'm sorry. I laughed so hard. I was like, I cannot believe that this just happened. And of course, I went home and I told Alicia. I was like, what the? I was like, this show was hilarious. I got to witness redundant meatballs, and I got to witness her saying that she's gonna let like cans of stuff. She just mixed a few cans, and like just gonna let that simmer as if it was made from scratch. Oh my god, I love Janice. I love her. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening. Okay, goodbye.